I went from living like monks, living out back of the trunk, to pockets of fat with the mumps, pockets of fat like the clubs. Now I am living like Trump. Now I am living like Trump. Mimosas and mimosas, mimosa samosa, mimosa samosa, the Morris Costa Nostra. Pulling up in Testarossa, we charging the debt, discharging the debt, discharging the debt, recharging the jet. Swipers on deck, ciphers on deck, ciphers on deck, wifers on deck, wifers on deck. My life is on check, my life is on check, my life is on tubes, my life is a Jew, my life is on you. My wife is on two, my wife is on two. I'm going for 3, you know it is me. Bread is the pillar, the jet is my pillar, the fez is the killer, the bread is gorilla, the flow is Godzilla, the lizard a beast. I visit the priest, and tell him my sins. I tell him I'm twin, I tell him I'm him, I tell him I'm him. High majesty, high as can be, I am a mountain.
Peace, family. Welcome to another episode Underground Railroad Productions. This your host, Brother Rich. I'm joined once again with the living legend himself, Professor Griff. Welcome back, brother.
Greetings, Brother Rich, and it's a pleasure to be back. Not necessarily under these circumstances, but it's always a pleasure to be back.
Indeed, Professor Griff. Start out by saying, giving the people thanks once again. The Patreons that support me and Griff, people who sign the PayPal, send donations. Want to thank all of y'all who support and all of y'all who just tune in to listen. And on that note, Griff, I want to talk to you about some things going on in the news and pop culture as it relates to race and our continued, some people may say struggle, some people may say we trying to figure out who we are. A lot of people coming at Mike Vick right now. For those who don't know Mike Vick is a football player. But Mike Vick, and I do also want to talk to you about the R. Kelly thing, but I want to touch on this Mike Vick, Colin Kaepernick situation first, because it seems as though the brother, it's not that it seems as though the brother's being blackballed right now from the NFL. So Mike Vick thought he should give him some advice, Professor Griff, about how not to be blackballed from the NFL and how to get a job in the NFL. So the advice he had for Mike Vick is that, he should cut his hair. He should cut his hair. He should get rid of his afro and get rid of his or his braids. So for those who know Mike Vick, he was protesting last season. Police brutality, the injustices to black people in this country. He was wearing socks with police dressed like pigs. He kneeled when they sung the national anthem. He was just very outspoken, very, very outspoken last year about the injustices that are inflicted upon his people in this country. And Mike, as a result, I guess a lot of teams don't want to mess with him. So Mike Vick is giving him advice. A lot of people coming at Mike Vick, Professor Griff. Of course, I want to get your take on that. But I want to ask you, Professor Griff, I'm hearing both sides. Some people, like I said in the beginning of the show, I guess we just trying to figure out how to survive in this country, Professor Griff. We trying to figure out how to be as non-threatening as possible. So there's things we all do. We go to the job and we take the bass out of our voice. We go to the job. Don't we all look presentable when we're going to get a job? Don't we all cut our hair? I'm sure if you had a son, maybe you might tell him to cut his hair, Professor Griff. That's what somebody might say, Professor Griff. So, is Mike Vick on it? Is he cooning, Professor Griff, or do you kind of understand where Mike Vick is coming from with his advice to Colin Kaepernick?
No, Mike Vick is a 100% no. Mike Vick is a 1,000% coon. He's cooning to the umpteenth degree, plain and simple. I've seen all kind of hair hanging out on people's helmets in the NFL, haven't you?
Right. Yes.
Okay, so when did you ever tell a white boy to present himself in a respectful, presentable manner? What's a presentable manner? Now, I can understand when you're dealing with some old white boys that own the football teams and the general managers that run them. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But you're not going to get a job at a bank. This is football. This is about your skill. This is not how you wear your hair.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And I'm surprised at Mike Vick. See, Mike Vick is suffering from this kind of mentality that you have to quote unquote. Did you listen to him carefully? He said, Colin Kaepernick need to straighten out his act. No, Negro, you need to straighten out your act. You the one that had to present yourself in front of a judge because you went to jail for 18 months. You the one that needed to cut your hair and put on a suit. Colin Kaepernick don't have to do that. Colin Kaepernick ain't never went to jail, committed no crime. He stood up for what he think is right. Plain and simple. Obviously, you see where Mike Vick's head is. You understand what I'm saying? So, no. He's way off base with this one, man. Way off base. If you go back, and we did, look at the stats that Mike Vick put up, and then look at the ones that Colin Kaepernick put up in the last season both of them played. Colin Kaepernick outplayed Mike Vick with his afro.
Yeah.
With his afro. So come on, man, stop that. The heads of the football teams and the general managers are not picking him based on his haircut, man. I'm sorry. But we need to look at what is it that you fear of a Colin Kaepernick with an afro. Let me tell you something. Allen Iverson ran right on through the NBA with his hair braided the whole damn time, wearing what he wanted to wear, doing what he wanted to do. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's just who and what we are. I mean, we got swag. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying to you, it's when did the NFL and the NBA and these other sports teams and leagues become mommy and daddy over grown-ass men and tell them how to wear their hair? No, they're not. You know what they do? They find Negroes like Ray Lewis and Mike Vick to pass on this fear tactic down to some younger players. Kawhi Leonard, is that his name?
Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah. That brother be wearing some old nappy-ass damn braids. You understand what I'm saying? So, no. Mike Vick is cooning, man. He's on the coon train. Seriously, he been eating coon biscuits, man. Eating coon cereal that morning. Nah.
Wow.
No, I'm so very sorry, Mike. You way out of bounds with this one, bro. You way out of bounds. Somebody's head up. What is the politics of hair? I think, what's the name, wrote a piece on it, Anthony Browder. The politics of hair in his book, The Browder Files.
Right.
And it is critical. We're the only people judged by our hair.
By hair.
Only people. No one else is judged like we're judged. Plain and simple. And that's the best way I can answer that, Brother Rich, and that's just real. Shoot.
Mm-hmm. Seeing what Colin Kaepernick did, some people say, Colin, they might feel as though Colin Kaepernick ain't do nothing by kneeling during the national anthem, but the brother didn't have to do that, and the brother sacrificed a lot to do that. He knew what might happen to him as a result of doing that. He got a lot of hate because of it. Do you think by him helping his community, and he's very charitable, he gives a lot. The brother has been given practically the whole year to various organizations and different places. So the brother's, he's talking the talk and he's walking the walk at the same time. Do you think black people need to take a stand for him like he took a stand for us, and we need to boycott the NFL for next season?
I'm not sure whether a boycott would work. I think a boycott would work only if we boycotted it and then we put something else in place to demonstrate to the rest of the world that we're behind that, brother. But I just finished doing my show, and I just finished talking about colorism. Some people won't support him because he's light-skinned.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I think that's so stupid.
Yeah.
So I'm saying to you, Brother Rich, support him, yes, in every way we know how. America is built on protest, right or wrong.
Right.
Boston Tea Party, and we can mention a whole bunch of other things. So this man doesn't kick up dust. He just kneels quietly. And they still have an issue with him. You're damned if you don't, and you're damned if you do, Brother Rich.
Mm-hmm.
The man didn't kick up dust like that. He was just shouting and screaming, holding up placards. All he did was kneel quietly. And you get hate mail for that? Oh, come on, man. Come on, stop that. Stop that, man. So we're not Americans then. I take it, Brother Rich. No, we're not Americans, and he was fine before he did that. Got a lucrative contract. Everything was cool. Fine up until that point where he says he has to take a stand for what's right and be in solidarity with the people that's right. And it's not all black people. I think we need to make that very clear at this point, Brother Rich. There are a lot of white people that agree with what Colin Kaepernick is doing and has done. There are a lot of white people that protest in their own way. He's just high profile. If you look at some of the pictures, there's some other black players kneeling with him.
Right.
They're just using him as an example.
When you see the behavior of somebody like Michael Vick or in the way he talks, this coonish behavior, or like a Ray Lewis, or, and the list goes on in Hollywood. Is that
Hollywood, man?
Yeah, you're right. Not only in Hollywood, all over.
Right.
Do you think that type of talk is natural? Like that's just who they are. That's how they see the world, or is that a result of them being psychologically beaten down for so long that they've adapted that way of thinking throughout their life?
Brother Rich, neither. I'm gonna say it one more time. Neither. That is learned behavior. Mm-hmm. That is you being fearful, or because you know you're supposed to do something in reference to racism, white supremacy, and the pressure of racism, white supremacy coming down on your head. So you kneel down and you capitulate, and you give in. But you give in so much, it makes you look like a weak little puppy. To the point where you pass that fear-induced trauma down to somebody younger than you, like Colin Kaepernick.
Right.
Colin Kaepernick would receive a whole different treatment according to racism, white supremacy, simply because he's light-skinned. And there is a certain privilege that Colin Kaepernick would get simply because of who he's around up in that National Football League kind of environment. Plain and simple. They think all the quarterbacks should be white. The quarterback is a thinking man's position. Am I right or wrong?
Mm-hmm.
So you get yourself dressed up, cut your hair, for what? Like, who are you trying to impress? If I was if I was the owner of a team and the general manager of a team, I definitely wouldn't want to give somebody millions of dollars to come play quarterback because of his hairstyle. That's just foolish. You got to see him on the field. Am I right or wrong?
Indeed.
And I hate to use this language, but Colin Kaepernick is a beast on the field. I'm sorry, man. You ever see his highlight reel?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude is dangerous. Dude got an arm. He can think. He can run. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He's a really good player. Plain and simple.
For those who aren't too familiar with the term, Colin Kaepernick's response was that Mike Vick has Stockholm Syndrome. And me and you have touched on this before, but for those who may not have heard that broadcast that we did, could you please explain to the family what Stockholm Syndrome is, Professor Griff?
You know something, Brother Rich? I saw when he responded that way, and I was like, wow. I was like, wow, this brother is really, really, really studying. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's studying, and I love the way he came back. And it's massively done simply because, Brother Rich, rather than calling names and that kind of thing, it's just beautiful to know that brothers like that not only think, but they are calculating. He played this thing like a quarterback. He said this brother probably suffering from the Stockholm syndrome. Stockholm syndrome is feelings of trust or affection for your enslaver, your kidnapper, your oppressor. I think here it says feelings of trust or affection felt in certain cases of kidnapping or hostage taking by a victim towards his captor. So you start to empathize and in some cases sympathize with your captor. The person who went and kidnapped you, holding you in bondage, and now you're empathizing with them. And you're seeing things, reality, through your kidnapper's eyes. You understand what I'm saying? You're not an owner of a football team, Mike Vick. You don't know what they're looking for. But just because you had to put on the monkey suit and get dressed up because you had to go before a judge and plead your case, Colin Kaepernick don't have to do that. Stockholm syndrome is a condition that causes hostages to develop a psychological alliance with their captors as a survival strategy during captivity. So you align yourself with the person that kidnapped you. It's just, in Michael Vick's case, you become the oppressed, have become the oppressor. I'm going to say that again, Brother Rich. The oppressed have become the oppressor, Brother Rich. You're saying exactly what not even the general manager would say to a player. These are grown men. This is not PAL, Police Athletic League. This is not junior high school. This is not even college. These are grown-ass men with wives, family, and children. Don't tell another man how to wear his hair. He's a man. Michael Vick, you're way out of line, bro. You're way out of line. I don't respect Negroes like that, man. Shit, jail should have did something for you, bro. Normally people go to jail that long and become Muslim or devout Christian or something. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come on, bro. Come on.
What does this situation, what can we learn from this situation in terms of, since our hair, race too, but since our hair continues in our image and our look, continues to be a problem, what can we learn from this situation, this incident, in terms of financial independence, Professor Griff, in terms of, let's say financial independence for now.
Brother Rich, I am so glad that you asked that question. I'm going over raw and rare footage that people are discovering, and one of the rare clips that they had put up was the one about Black Wall Street. Did you see it?
Yeah, it was color footage. It was like
one of them was slightly colored, and a couple of them were just black and white, rare footage. Mm-hmm. And I noticed the people in there, of course, being in America and being in Middle America, you had to dress the part.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? But you saw a barber looking like a barber, a baker looking like a baker, a baker, barber, and banker dressed like a banker. Everyone dressed the part. And since a lot of people lived in that particular area did well for themselves, you saw people in dresses and in suits. We're talking about football, though, Brother Rich. We're talking about football.
Mm-hmm.
We're not talking about some of the people in the rare footage that you may see in a Black Wall Street. You're talking about the same kind of dress code that RZA talked about when he told his son that if he dressed different, police wouldn't shoot him down. The police would respond to him different. No, ask the brothers in the Nation of Islam that always got suits and bow ties on how the police respond to them. Ask the brothers and sisters during slavery. and even post-slavery, how police and the KKK and other white people responded to them. All right? So we cannot use that as an excuse, Brother Rich. If we dress the part, if we are in these kind of situations where it may cause us, in a lot of cases nowadays, man, I think everybody's getting back to them natural selves. Wouldn't you think so?
Yeah.
I've seen people in all different kinds of professions wearing their hair however they wanted to wear their hair. I don't think it's that, what do you call it, that strict, so to speak, or that strict kind of code that you have to live by. Simply because once upon a time it was white, male, dominant in America, and it still is. But even white women had to fall up under that, to the point where, even in the military, some white women that I served with had to have white male haircuts. You understand what I'm saying? But that's military. We're talking sports. We're talking football. We're not talking about going to a board meeting in corporate America. So I think most of us need to, I think we need to catch up with the modern day and times, man. And we need to understand before we open our mouths. Because they ask them a very upfront and open question. What kind of conversation would you have with Colin Kaepernick if you had the chance to? Well, first of all, man, I think I would tell him to get his act together. I would tell him to cut his hair. I was like, wow. How did you react to that when you first heard it?
And I was shocked. I didn't expect that from Michael Vick. Not from Michael Vick.
No.
I expect that from Ray Lewis, not Michael Vick, though.
Exactly. And I don't know what it is, and where did you get this kind of thinking from? It's almost like the invisible white man is standing there patting him on the head or rubbing his head, like you would do a Labrador Retriever or something.
Mm-hmm.
And it's sad because this Negro is operating just by remote control.
A brother, I told the brother, he said, you doing your show with Griff tonight? I said, yeah. He said, you talking about the Michael Vick thing? I said, yeah, we're going to touch on that and some other things. He said, I need you to ask Griff a question for me. I said, okay, what's your question, brother? The brother wants to ask you, he wanted me to ask you, Professor Griff, Rodney, brother named Rodney. He wanted me to ask you, let me see, which one is his question? Do you think, ask Griff, does he think white people likes black hair more than us because their biracial children looks more black than the children with two black parents? So I guess he's referring to the fact that when you see a lot of times in the street, especially in New York, if you see a biracial child, you'll see their hair out, afro, somebody from the hood would be like nappy, but to their parents, they just let the afro hang. It's just out there. So I guess that's what the brother was referring to. But what you think about the brother's question?
Well, I think it's an interesting question, and thank you, Rodney, for the question. But I think Joy Leary said, and I think white people understand this, and this is true. And you do see white parents with black children letting the child grow their hair the way it grows out of their head. Some cases, I don't think white people know how to manage black hair.
Mm-hmm.
It's not a case of like and dislike. Managing a black child's hair to a white woman could be rather difficult. And that's just something she has to learn. I don't think they like black people's hair more than they do their own. I think black people's hair is, of course, has a political orientation to it. But if it didn't, we wouldn't even be having an interview right now talking about why Mike Vick's talking about Colin Kaepernick need to cut his hair. But it's a different task that white moms have to take on with managing black hair. It's not impossible. You understand what I'm saying? But don't ever think that a white woman is going to sit and cornroll a black child. They probably just don't know how to do that. Culturally speaking, they haven't been taught that. You understand what I'm saying? So that will never probably happen. You understand what I'm saying? You'll probably never see a black child with a white mom, I mean, just having locks. Some of them try to, but no, it's just not going to happen. It's a cultural thing. I don't know if Rodney knows, or if anyone in the listening audience, I'm sure some people know, that certain hairstyles are for certain tribes in Africa, and it means certain things. Just like certain clothing means certain things in different cultures. Certain colors in certain tribes mean certain things in certain cultures in Africa. Certain jewelry you wear. Deeper than that, certain tattoos, certain tribal marks. Are you following what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's a cultural thing, Rodney. It's not a like or dislike. White women allow black children to wear their hair the way it grows out of their head. And this is the same thing the black doctor, Joy DeGruy, or Joy Leary, and Dr. Francis Cress Welsing told us.
Last question in terms of the Mike Vick situation. Then I want to ask you a couple of questions in terms of this whole R. Kelly thing going on. I remember I was watching. Well, I wasn't watching. My girl was. She watches a lot of YouTube videos about how to manage natural hair, what to put in it, conditioners, all that type of stuff. So she watches a lot of YouTube videos. And one day she told me, she was watching it, and she told me that, because they have different types, I believe, 4C, 4B, 4, there's like names for like different textures of black hair. So, she was telling.
What is mine?
I'm not sure. I'm going to get to that. One of the things she was saying, some of the girls on YouTube, the girls that was into the natural hair movement, felt as though biracial women are taking over the natural hair movement. And a lot of people say they like natural hair, but a lot of people, this is basically what I'm summing up what she was saying. When people say they like natural hair, they usually like the mixed chick. Sorry for the phrase, but that's one of the phrases they use. The mixed chick look, where it's like curly, it's nappy, but not too nappy, so it's acceptable. But when you really get into natural hair and them real naps and real, nothing in terms of biracial having the whiteness in you, people don't like that type of natural. So they feel as though the movement is being taken over by biracial women. I want to ask you your thoughts on that, and do you feel as though because your hair is not what they will call nappy, do you feel as though you can't fully relate to the black hair experience since you don't have that texture of black hair?
Okay, first I would need to ask, what is black hair? The kind of hair comes that's from with the brother.
I can't hear you. I can't hear you, Griff.
Hold on.
Hello?
This black hair, is it the kind of black hair that the brothers and sisters from Ghana, or the Sudan, or Ethiopia, or Tanzania, Eritrea, Madagascar, where? What's like black hair like?
Well, what she's referring to, biracial woman here is different, majority of the time, than a woman who has two black parents from the South or just two black parents.
Okay, I'm standing in front of a woman with a fine grade of hair.
Now,
my daughter's hair is probably just as fine as Soleil's hair. My daughter has two black parents. So I don't understand. I'm not sure if I understand it.
You got to understand what I'm saying, Griff. They were in the black community. Listen, in the black community, and we know this because we black. They would say Soleil has good hair. They would say that. They would say Griff has good hair. They would say your daughter has good hair. They would look at Rich, and if I just let my hair grow, they would say, oh, Rich, you ain't got that good hair. So you know, that's what I'm referring to. The blacks with the quote-unquote good hair, they feel are taking over the natural hair movement.
Ooh.
You know, you remember when you was young, you know how they'd be like, he got Indian in him. He got Indian in his family. You know
No, because I grew up and they said I got good hair.
Right, yeah. That's
it. Doesn't mean I'm a good person. It's just I got a different texture of hair. And I understand that. But to say that biracial people or mixed people or people with that texture hair is taking over the hair industry, if they are, they must be taking it over from white people because white people control the black hair industry. Last time I checked, but just to give you an insight with whatever your queen come up with as far as what letter and number hair I have, I use extra virgin coconut oil and what is this other oil like? Herbal infused hair oil, which I can't even see the ingredients, coconut, and some other olive oil and some other oils, and sometimes I'll put shea butter in my hair, but that's it. So I don't know. I just use that because that just works for my hair. I can't even remember last time I used a brush or a comb. I use my hands to comb my hair. I don't. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But that doesn't make my hair any better than anyone else's hair. Hair doesn't have a moral quality to it, if I could say that. You understand what I'm saying? Just like the whole idea of calling somebody fair-skinned or fair-skinned. That don't mean that they're fair in their dealings with people. That just means they're lighter. See, when we attach these things to lighter-skinned people because we think they're going to be fair and just, because we think white people are fair and just, and they're not. So I would have to look a little bit deeper into the hair industry to see who have these black hair care products out on a massive scale. Last time I checked, white people was manufacturing them, Korean people were selling them, black people were buying them. Regardless of whether you mix, not mix, or whatever. Now, Brother Rich, if we ever get a chance, I want to introduce you to my sister, Marva. Marva has a gray streak. Marva has black and brown hair. Marva has a blue eye and a brown eye. This is my sister now. Now, you would look at the texture of her hair and say, okay, wow, she must be mixed. But she's not. She's about a shade or so lighter than me. But she's not mixed. She's my sister. And we have the same parents. See, but that seed in the black man runs rampant, and we're able to produce any shade in the color spectrum because we have the ability to do that. Now, you would think, because I have this so-called good hair, well, my oldest son doesn't have the same texture hair I do. But my younger son does. So it just varies. You understand what I'm saying, Brother Rich?
Yeah, definitely.
So, but taking over the industry, not sure about that. I really wish I could answer that question. I have a couple of friends that, that are into, that either own salons, work in a salon, or in the hair care business. And like I said, the last time I checked, white manufacturers, Korean sellers, and black customers, consumers.
I just Googled hair type. Like I never knew until I see that YouTube video from the girl from the girl who's into the movement that my girl was watching. I had no idea they had this classification system. But they have like kinky 4A, kinky 4B, kinky 4C, wavy 2A, wavy 2B, coily 3. I mean, like it's a whole system. So the sisters, and I guess depending on your texture, it requires different products. So I guess to do it justice, I got to get a sister on here to talk about that. But it's just something I wanted to bring up vaguely since we was talking about head types. But for those watching right now, I will bring a sister up on the show so she can further explain this to us, so we can have a better understanding on the different, the hair types out there and the hair type charts. So
and create some balance in this discussion.
Definitely.
In reference to here, because I remember a couple of times running out of black shampoo and conditioner and having to use the shampoo and conditioner at the hotel. And I'm sure as much shampoo and conditioner they run through at the millions of hotels that are across this country, I'm sure they're not taking black people into consideration.
Right.
They're not making black hair care products to put in the hotel. All of them are designed for white people, mainly white men. And the rest of us just got to suffer.
Indeed.
You've washed your hair at a hotel before, right, Brother Rich? With the shampoo. That wasn't made for black.
No,
it wasn't made for black. Okay. Did you get my point then? Okay.
Oh man.
Okay.
I wanna move on to this and I just got a couple of questions, nothing too long, Professor Griff, but we had to touch on the situation with R. Kelly, Professor Griff. The things that are being said on the internet are disturbing. It went from allegations to, I don't know. There's just a lot going on, Professor Griff. I mean, with the whole Bill Cosby thing, people feel as though people are being set up. We got these sisters on. The sisters are saying, everything's okay, but her family is saying the sister R. Kelly's holding these females hostage. He got a sex cult going on. They're not allowed to give out their location. They're, he got them doing all types of weird sexual acts with each other, with him. I mean, it's just real disturbing, Professor Griff, what I'm hearing about R. Kelly. And it was already disturbing what we heard years ago about this dude, man. And just to continue to hear this and see this and know that he's still into these, these 18, 19-year-olds. What's your take on it, man? I don't want to jump to assumptions, Professor Griff. I don't want to assume it's true, but I know you're gonna come with a more clear mind than me with this one. So I got to ask you, what's your take on what's going on with this whole R. Kelly situation, brother?
I think, first of all, we need to establish the fact that and come to a general conclusion that this man is a sexual predator. Would you agree?
It seems that way, yes.
Okay. He just kind of did the remix and stepped his game up and moved from the very young 13 and 14-year-olds to now what is considered legal in certain states, 18. And since he's doing it in Georgia and in Chicago, I know the law in Georgia states that you can actually marry a 16-year-old.
In Georgia?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wow. I didn't know that.
Come on, man. Them country redneck ass damn back and marrying fucking cousins and shit. Cut that shit out, Brother Rich. But I'm saying to you, but I'm saying that we have to understand that the mindset, not necessarily the age, because in any instant he can revert back to trying to tick off a 13-year-old. That's the dangerous thing. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The dangerous thing is he's a predator, a sexual predator. And what's more dangerous than that, what form of mind control is he using and he's being accused of? And then why would a news agency, parents of young girls that are there, find the need to have to put this dude on blast and put him on Front Street? Plain and simple. And you're hiding behind the fact that, he never said they can leave when they want to. He just said he's basically not, he's not holding them hostage. And I believe police officers went there and did a walkthrough. The last couple of things I saw today on YouTube and on the internet. And the girl did a little clip, letting her mom and dad know and other people know that she's safe, and she just don't want to be bothered with them. Plain and simple. So that's just, from what I'm seeing it from my limited vantage point. I think he's a sexual predator, but I also know that if you have to go so far as to set up a house and manipulate and control every movement of these 6 or so women that are in your house, that ain't goddamn normal, Brother Rich.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I know there's people out there that's been to those kind of parties where you go and it just seemed like free drugs, free liquor, free everything, free food, and free whatever. You understand what I'm saying? But to see a situation where every phone call is monitored when women use the bathroom and when they leave the house and when they come back and then cutting them off from their parents, that's one of the first or second signs of a cult. You cut them off from their loved ones, so you manipulate and control them.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't really know how he ever plans on defending that. But as of yet, no one's really actually brought him up on some serious charges to the point where he has to go to court. No one arrested him. What law was broken? Now, there's a moral code and a moral law that we live by, Brother Rich. To hell with what the white man say in his law. It's just black people know that shit ain't right. It's just something you ain't doing right up in there. You understand what I'm saying? Something ain't right. And trust me, Brother Rich, you wouldn't want your 18-year-old up in there, would you?
Hell no.
Thank you. So if you wouldn't want your 18-year-old up in there, and I wouldn't want mine, there's a conversation that we need to have with R. Kelly. I don't know if he's up there wearing Batman outfits and shit. I don't know what he's doing up in there. But something ain't right. I don't know if he's Pied Piper. I don't know what he's doing up in there. But for somebody to make that accusation because they ain't seen their daughter in 6 months or had contact with their child in 9 months, that's a problem, man. If my daughter, who is 19, all of a sudden decided to go to R. Kelly house, and then I ain't seen her in 6 months, I'd be like, whoa, where you at? Oh, I'm over R. Kelly house. Well, where you live at? I'm coming over. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, right. Just tell me your dad is coming over. And we just gonna hang out. You understand what I'm saying? See, we can get together. I can, sing. I believe I can fly. Whatever the fuck. We just gonna hang out. I want to see what's going on. Plain and simple. And there ain't nothing wrong with that. But can I ask you a question, Brother Rich?
Yeah.
Where did R. Kelly meet these young women? And did he meet them at 18 and 19 and 21? From the reports I'm hearing, some of the parents actually introduced him.
Yes, I was just about to say that.
Wow.
Just about to say that, yeah. As
Flavor Flav would say, wow. I don't even know about that, Brother Rich. What's on their minds? See, this whole idea of doing backflips, man, and getting all beside yourself because these guys are R&B singers. It's like, wow, the shit that people do because of their fame and popularity. Yeah. I don't get it, Brother Rich. And I've met the best of them and performed, been on stage with Prince, Anita Baker, Regina Bell, Stevie Wonder, Earth, Wind & Fire. I've met James Brown. I've met all kind of people, man. Bono from U2. I've met all kind of people, but come on, man. Nah, not ever. Am I going to turn my child over to you? Hell no. No.
Yeah, it's truly sad. Once again, I mean, you've seen the way people react, and we constantly say we got to boycott this, we got to stop supporting this. At this point, I mean, can you see his music being played on the radio at this point, Griff? I mean, like, I can't see it being played.
Let me tell you something. I never gave dude a pass. After I saw the aspects of that him peeing on the sister,
yeah.
Yo, man, I wanted to round up my crew, man, go knock on dude's door for real, man. You don't violate no young girl like that. And what the fuck was her parents doing that they let that fly like that? So, nah, I never gave dude a pass. After that, I stopped listening to dude. I never went to a concert after that or listened to a song of his after that. Nah, that's my own personal protest. Plain and so I've gotten into arguments with people behind that, man. I went to a hair salon where one of my best friends work at. Went, saw R. Kelly's picture, took it, turned it backwards. She got mad at me. So I took it and ripped the shit up and threw it in the garbage. Then I took the garbage and burned it. I'm like, nah, man. Until this nigga stops pissing on young girls, then yeah, we might give him a break. I swear to God, man, these Negroes better be glad the Creator ain't put me in that position where I'm the judge of the goddamn jury, man. I'm sorry. Please, man.
You know, you led right into my next question when you said, now, judging the jury. I want to ask you about this don't judge philosophy that a lot of people got when it seems as though when people are out there doing, like, messed up things and just doing some wrong, the first thing a person will say is, Griff, you can't judge him, Griff. You can't judge him. Only God could judge him. You know, these women are over 18. You can't judge them based on, you know, what he's into. The parents know. The girls know. He knows. That's what they're into. Don't judge him, Griff. And we hear this all the time. I mean, you could do the most ratchet shit on the face of the earth out there. There's going to be a group of people that say, Griff, don't judge Amber Rose for her slut walk. Or Griff, don't judge Black China for what she's doing. What's your take on this don't judge philosophy? Only God could judge him, Professor Griff. Talk to me.
Well, for most of the Christians that are waiting for Jesus to come back, he ain't even here yet. So we got to talk to some of these people until Jesus gets back.
until he gets back, huh?
No, I'm only playing about that. But no, Brother Rich, there is a degree of judging, you know, we all do. But in most cases, dealing with energy work, these people have a self-accusing spirit. If you understand what I mean, there ain't much that you got to say about a person like R. Kelly. If you would only give him a minute, leave him alone, and let him be himself, he has a self-accusing spirit. He will tell on himself. And if the fruit don't fall too far from the tree, if you look at his actions and what he's doing now, all right, those could have easily been a house full of young women, 13 and 14 years old, Brother Rich. Let's just say the authorities had never brought R. Kelly up on charges, all right? Who do you think would be in that house right now, Brother Rich? If he could get away with it. Your 14-year-old daughter, right or wrong. So, no, we do, Brother Rich, in our own way, want all of us to take the moral high ground. But those things that may come across as not so correct, Brother Rich, we do have a tendency to judge. We're not judging him, though, based on some moral code that he's been living in as an upstanding citizen, all right? We're judging him primarily based on his past, Brother Rich, his history. And his history has shown and proven he's not to be trusted around anybody's child, 14 or 18. And I'm not asking anyone to agree with me. But whether they want to say I'm hypocritical or too judgmental or whatever, trust me. And most black men are going to be the ones leaving comments under this YouTube clip. All right? But them same black men would not want their daughter to be up in that spot right now with R. Kelly. Some sick, twisted individuals might want their child to be up in that space because he's a famous R&B singer and they want to see what they can get out of the deal. And they might want to sacrifice their child. Not me, Brother Rich. No. As much as my child acts up at 19, I wouldn't want to see her up in that space because I have a duty and responsibility to protect her from the R. Kellys of the world. My daughter had a crush on Nas. All right? Surprisingly enough, Nas turned around and married Khalees. So you know I got that phone call. Daddy, you see, he even married Khalees. And my daughter's middle name is Khalees. She said he just married the wrong Khalees. I said, shut your mouth. Can you introduce me to him? I said, hell no. So he just married the wrong Khalees, man. Be quiet. But anyway, that's my take on it, Brother Rich.
Oh, man.
Just saying, man.
You know, and just one more question, Professor Griff. Definitely appreciate the talk as always. What, you know, earlier you mentioned you know, yourself doing your own personal protest against R. Kelly, not giving him a pass. Why do you think it's like sometimes with our people, Professor Griff, they won't do something unless a group of people's doing it. So, like, you're like, I ain't messing with dude after that piston incident. There's a lot of people that they look around, they look left, they look right, and if everybody else is still supporting them, then they support them. There's brothers I know right now that want to boycott certain things, but boycott, let me just see an example, a store in the hood. A brother I know in particular wanted to boycott a store in the hood. Nobody wanted to join him, so he just started going to the store because he's like, man, ain't nobody was down with me, man, so I'm just back in here. Niggas is weak. They didn't want to join me. So talk to me about personal protest versus, you know, being strong enough to have your own personal protest versus waiting for a group of people to protest with, Professor Griff.
Well, you know something, Brother Rick? I'm just one of those kind of individuals. I don't need a crowd of people with me in my personal protest. The people at the particular time, I asked them, and I'm being very transparent and very real. People would pick me up from the airport. I don't care if it's an Uber driver or whoever. If R. Kelly's song come on, can you turn that off for me? I really appreciate that. And if they want to ask why, then we'll have that discussion. And I just tell them straight up, I'm not with, man, grown-ass men like R. Kelly pissing on 14-year-olds, man. I think that's a violation, plain and simple. And I really like to tell R. Kelly to his face. But that's my personal protest. I don't listen to dude's songs. I don't watch his videos. I don't even really have a discussion about dude, man. Plain and simple. Now, I know some dudes that's waiting for his ass in prison in Illinois if he ever end up in that space, because that's just a violation. And we're not going to let you get away with that. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. So I'm just saying to you, I don't care if 10,000 people disagree with what I say in reference to R. Kelly or my personal protest. All right? I'm going to protest. Now, you ain't going to see me outside the man's house with a damn bullhorn and a picket sign.
Right.
I'm not going to do that. But I'm not going to buy anything, not a T-shirt, a fucking toothpick. I'm not going to listen to an R. Kelly song. None of that. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. That's just my take on it, and that's my personal. Okay, you know what I'm saying? There's a couple of brothers in the conscious community. I'm protesting they bitch ass. I don't listen to their lectures. I'm not going to their lectures. All right. When I see them come up on my timeline or somebody send me a clip, I block it. I don't listen to it, and I'm blocking the person that send me that bullshit. Until that dude answers some serious questions, all right, I'm boycotting his ass. Fuck him. Plain and simple. I don't give a fuck what he's saying or how entertaining he sounds. Gets no play. No play. Not on both of my cell phones, my tablet, or my two computers. Not ever. Ever. Plain and simple. And it's just not. I'm not allowing it, man. And anybody else. And there's a few other people that's joining that list. As a matter of fact, I think I have about 218 people blocked in my cell phone. I got a couple of hundred more blocked on Facebook. Yeah, and it's just some stuff I'm just not going to play. I'm not ever playing these people. Just, get it right. Maybe we can sit down and talk. But they don't give a damn about me. They don't care whether or not I got a personal protest. But anybody that bring up their name to me in personal conversation, I set them straight. And I'm about to have a conversation with Supernova Slum and Red Pill because we're doing a Sphere of a Black Planet. You understand what I'm saying? I just ask them respectfully, don't bring up these people's names to me, man, else you're going to get some pushback. Plain and simple. I'm not going to just go along with everything that's going on. It's wrong is wrong, man. Wrong is wrong. I got to take a personal stand, and if nobody appreciates me doing that, hopefully the people around me will do that. I don't give them people no play. I don't give a fuck how conscious they think these brothers are. You get no play, man. And a few sisters are on the list. You get no play. None. Then some of them same people see me and they don't even speak to me. I'm like, that's good. Don't. It's best that you don't. You see, Brother Rich, I'm not one of them weak kind of, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not that pliant where I'm just going to give in. Everything's going to be fine because a few people forgave you. No. I just don't operate that way. Come before black people, apologize to black people, do right by black people because black people support you. And then maybe we can sit down and talk. But see, their friendship, my friendship with them doesn't mean anything to them, so they would never do that. I'm just one of those kind of individuals, I'm going to hold you accountable. Plain and simple, Brother Rich. And I've been telling audiences lately for a minute now, you don't serve me. I serve you. You understand what I'm saying? I can't come before the people talking down and at the people. No, I'm a servant of the people. And I think we need to get that in our heads. So you gonna curse the people out, Brother Rich, if they didn't support your Patriot?
Nah, I'm not doing that.
No,
I'm not doing that.
You can't talk to the people any old kind of way. And neither can I. We keep this going because we're not performing a service, but we're providing a service to educate the people on our point of reference and our point of view on what we think about these situations that we bring up on your platform. Right?
Indeed.
We have to respect the people, even some of the ones that leave negative comments under this. Like, okay, I see what you're saying. But just kind of do it in a respectful way. I don't mind you disagreeing. But why I got to be a curly-haired little pussy while you leaving your comment? Why I got to be, you understand what I'm saying? That's not necessary. Why I got to be a fucking midget? Why I got to have a head full of pubic hair? That's not cool. So I'm saying I don't mind people disagreeing, but come on.
Right.
I just rather if we come before the people, let's be a lot more transparent, open, truthful, honest. Let's have some character, and let's be centered, and let's do right by the people. Not how well the people did right by me by giving me a donation. Because you and I, if we received no donations, we still would be on here doing what we do, right or wrong.
Yeah, just what we love to do.
And we went a long time with no donations, right or wrong.
Oh, yeah.
So it is what it is. All right, Brother Rich, it's been a pleasure, man.
Definitely, man. Lead the people. Let them know what you got coming up, brother. Leave them your contact info.
Wow, of course, people know August 5th, I will be in Miami, Florida. The flyer has been distributed on my page, my Facebook page. Tomorrow I'm putting up the flyer on my website. I'll be in Miami, Florida, and on the 5th, I'll be in Jacksonville, Florida on the 19th and 20th. I want the people to come to subscribe to the channel and the page to constantly get the information, all right? Because a lot of times they'll hear this and then they'll miss it because they'll hear this a week later. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
In order for us to constantly inform people, the people got to meet us halfway, man.
Indeed.
So if I'm telling you I'm going to be in Miami on August 5th, August 19th and 20th, I'm going to be in Jacksonville, Florida. The 12th, I'm going to be in Birmingham, Alabama, and then I'm going to be up there with you, Sonetta, and a few other people at Sonetta's piece on the 13th. They got to go to the page and get the information off the flyer.
Yeah.
They just have to meet me halfway. Come on, man. I'm trying to set my website up so it can serve as a portal for people to get all of this information. So the only thing I have to say at the end of this interview is go to www.professorgriff.me. All of the information is there, and there's a calendar there on where I'm going to be. My phone number is 678-557-2919.
Indeed. Did you?
One last thing, Brother Rich. I'm having a preparedness class online in August. So if the people want the information on how to sign up for the preparedness class, I'm talking about going through my entire black pack, letting people know that the black pack is real. We're going to have to pack a black pack and keep it by the front door in case the ish go down. You understand what I'm saying? Everything needs to be in that black pack. We need to survive for 2 to 3 weeks. People need to know how to survive. Survival, training, preparedness now is the class I'm going to give online. It's an online class. People can call me at 678-557-2919. I want to shout out all of the people. This is the last week coming up of the Know Thyself online class that I'm teaching. And it's a beautiful thing, Brother Rich, to be in a position to educate and pass this information that's coming through me on to our people. This Know Thyself class I'm giving again in September, all right, for the people that wanted to take it but missed it, all right? It's a beautiful thing to study with people online to make sure they get the necessary information so that we can start building strong individuals. Those individuals can come together so we can start having strong couples, real black love, so we can start having real black families, and the black families make up real black communities.
Excellent. Well, I definitely appreciate you coming on the show, Professor Griff, and the work that you're doing. You're a hard-working brother, Professor Griff, man.
Thanks, man.
You put in that work, man. The brothers out here listening, some of them in their 20s, 30s, don't let Griff out-hustle you now, man. Griff doing his thing, man. Traveling all over the country, teaching online courses. I mean, yeah, man, congrats on all your success, brother, and what you're doing. Like I said in the beginning of the show, make sure you support Professor Griff, support me, go to the Patreon, go to the PayPal, go to his website, professorgriff.me. I have the info in the description bar. Thanks for tuning in, everybody that's listening. We signing out, family, and we're going to see you next week, family. Peace. Peace, family. This is Brother Rich from UGR, urging all my viewers and subscribers to help support the channel by donating just $1 to the UGR PayPal account. We appreciate the viewership and support, and we understand the power of $1. If you benefit in any way, shape, or form, we ask that you donate $1, whether it be monthly, bi-monthly, quarterly, or yearly, so that we can build our brand to compete with the NBCs, the MTVs, and the Foxes of the world. I figure since Kanye could ask Mark Zuckerberg for $1 billion, I can ask my subscribers to donate $1 so I can make the best possible content possible. The main objective of this channel is to inspire you to become the greatest version of yourself. So hopefully throughout the years of you watching this program, you have been inspired to become the greatest version of yourself. If you would like to donate, you could go to www.paypal.com.
I went from living like monks, living out back of the trunk, to pockets of fat with the mums, pockets of fat like the clubs. Now I am living like Trump. Now I am living like Trump. Mimosas and mimosas, mimosas, samosa, mimosas, samosa, the Morris Costa Nostra. Pulling up in Testarossa, we charging the debt, discharging the debt, discharging the debt, we charging the jet. Swipers on deck, ciphers on deck, ciphers on deck, wipers on deck, wipers on deck. My life is on check, my life is on check, my life is on tubes, my life is a Jew, my life is on you, my wife is on two, my wife is on two. I'm going for 3, you know it is me. Bread is the pillar, the jet is my pillar, the fez is the killer, the bread is gorilla, the flow is Godzilla, the lizard a beast. I visit the priest, and tell him my sins. I tell him I'm twin, I tell him I'm him, I tell him I'm him. High majesty, high as can be.